What's going on, everyone? We are back talking season 2, Lalomanu Beach, and we're joined by the runner-up of this season, Serena. How are you doing?
Good.
Wow, you were one vote shy. Anthony cast his vote for Jackie, but it's your first time, and to make it to second, that's an amazing accomplishment. So congrats on that.
Yes, congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So I want to start from the beginning, and I want to just get this out of the way right now. Anyone who watches these games knows that your husband, Robbie, is well known in this community. And he gets tons of attention as it is. So we're just going to mention him now, and then that's it.
Oh, no.
Because this is your time. But I just want to know how you felt coming into this game because Robbie is so involved in the community. And did you feel added pressure because of that?
I definitely wanted to come in anonymous. So when I first logged in, I remember I had my first and last name and I'm like, oh no. So I changed it quick and I was hoping that nobody kind of put me with him because he's made great allies and also has burned a couple people. So I wanted to kind of play my own game and kind of separate myself from him. So that way none of the past would carry forward in my game and I could just kind of remove that out of the equation.
Nice. I wondered that when I was watching too, if you were going to try to be quiet about that. And then I wondered if anyone recognized you.
Oh, okay. I got a great story. So actually, there was only one or two people who had reached out and thought I might have been related to him. I think probably because they have him on Facebook and they've seen my picture. But at the very end, me, Jackie, and Anthony are sitting in the waiting room waiting to kind of find out who won. And I said, well, and the votes were already cast. So I was like, well, yeah, I mean, I guess I got a confession. Robbie's my husband. And Anthony was like, Robbie? Like, so I totally fooled him the whole game, but I kind of think that it could have gone a bit differently in terms of working together if he had known that I was connected with him.
Oh, that's so interesting.
Yeah.
So good on you for trying to keep that under wraps.
So when you get into the game, did you recognize any people that you've seen in the community or heard that could have potentially been there?
The only one who looked familiar was Bob because I played a couple of the game nights, but other than that, no.
Awesome.
And were you fully on board to do this or were you a little hesitant?
I kind of waffled back and forth, and then as it got closer to it, I was like, you know what, I'll do it. It's a fun night, and I'll see what it's all about. So it was definitely worth it.
What I want to know is also how big of a Survivor fan were you going into this? Have you seen all the seasons? Have you seen only a couple episodes? Like, what's your fandom level?
Well, compared to the super fans here, it's probably less than that. I have watched a lot of the seasons. I can't quote them all as well as everybody else here, but me and Robbie usually watch it together. It's kind of our Wednesday night thing. So, yeah, so it's definitely a show I watch, but I can't, I'm pretty active in the actual season that's going on, but after the seasons pass, I have a short-term memory, so I can't always place who won what and that kind of thing.
Understandable.
Hey, I feel ya. I have watched every season numerous times except for the newer ones. I cannot do Survivor trivia at all. I can't recall anything, and I've watched them so many times. So,
yeah.
Okay, I feel better now.
It's just you two, though. McKenna and I got trivia.
I mean, I post you've been on it. So.
It doesn't mean you're a bigger fan than me.
Just slightly. But my one thing, I guess jumping very, very forward, was in your final tribal council speech where they asked you to compare yourself to a Survivor player. And I had one clear person in mind where you could slightly relate to is Michelle Fitzgerald. And so it was like, oh, just say it. Serena, just say it. But it makes sense now with your recall of being like, all right, I'm in the season when I'm in the season, and then when it's gone.
It's I also didn't want to kind of put myself in, like, I did think of Michelle, to be honest, and a couple other people, but I also didn't want to. I kind of I learned a lot in the game, and I realized I didn't always sell what I was doing in the confessionals. So it may not have looked I was playing as hard as others. So I kind of realized that as we got to the end, and I didn't want to categorize myself in certain categories of different players. And there's strong competitors, ones who play the more social game. Some people consider floaters. So I was like, I don't want anybody to even think I'm a floater. So I'm not going to throw out a name that is debated among winners. So I was like, I don't know.
Understandable.
Got it. We already chatted with Kyle, actually, and I brought up to him how he mentioned to some people in the game that you would pop up in scramble rooms and be super quiet. And I mean, he gave you props for the game that you played, but was that kind of your strategy, to be the kind of quiet one? Because I could tell watching you that your wheels were spinning constantly, but you didn't say a lot. And that's how I played my mini too. So I completely get it. It was your first game. So that's kind of what I want to know. Was that your strategy, or was it kind of like fish out of water type thing because you were new at it?
Definitely my strategy. I like to talk. I'm great at talking, but if there's a silence, I'll fill it. But there was rarely any silence. And I find if you feed people enough, they'll kind of get themselves in trouble. So I tried to poke some stuff out there when the conversation needed to go a direction, but then I tried to keep my mouth shut to keep the heat off and that sort of thing. So yeah, it was kind of a strategy. And then also there's a lot of personalities. Everybody's talking. So I'm just going to sit back and soak it in.
You posed questions at certain moments, like when the girls were in a room together and you're like, oh yeah, what's the breakdown of guys versus girls? So it kind of got people thinking of certain things at certain moments, which props to you for that. Thank
you. People always like their own ideas. So if you guide them to have the right idea, then it's their idea, but you just planted it.
That is true. So what I want to know is, when you see Nikki, she gets voted out. Did you think your game was truly in trouble? Because that was kind of a turning point at that point in the game.
Yeah, I was worried because I thought, I guess I had assumed Jackie had kind of more ties with Brittley and Morgan and was able to pull her in. So I was shocked when Nikki went, because I thought we had the girls' alliance locked down. So it really kind of had me reshuffling and making sure I wasn't the bigger threat of the three of us left.
I want to go to the infamous card challenge for you guys. What was your reasoning for just getting out of that mess?
Well, I mean, 2 had to sit out, and I figured this is a good one to do it. Get it out first off. And yeah. Because it was just kind of a convenience thing. It was like 2 people have to sit out. This is my time. Make it easy. People aren't humming and hawing. So
yeah. Dylan was a little bit in the breakout room. He was a little bit like, I'd rather not do this. But then you and Anthony were both like, we're not going to do this. And so Dylan was like, all right, I guess I'll be blindfolded then.
And then you guys let the person with the most unstable interconnection be your caller.
Hey, we were riding a 2-win high. We thought we were untouchable.
That's true.
We did see you be agreeable a lot and not throw out people's names. You kind of let other people take the lead on that. And then for the most part, you agreed and said, yeah. Were you okay as long as it wasn't you?
Yeah. So really, Nikki was kind of my ride or die. So when she was gone, I was aligned with Kyle and Anthony. I wanted to be loyal to them, but I wasn't going to sell myself out for them type thing. And if somebody had thrown their name out, I got to jump on board because I got to save my own skin. So I was tightly aligned with Jackie as well, but she was in a total position of power. So there really wasn't a lot of situations where I was in a position to defend her or kind of keep her safe from being evicted. So,
and she also had so many immunity wins too. So there wasn't really much of an opportunity to vote her out.
No, after that Shea vote, she pretty much there wasn't an opportunity once me, Kyle, and Anthony were together and we're like, okay, the tides have turned. There wasn't even an opportunity for us to contemplate going after Jackie or Morgan. Well, sorry, not Morgan, but Jackie, to keep our old alliance strong. So yeah, really Nikki was the one who was kind of, I would have went along with and tried to keep her safe. But after she got out, it changed.
Yeah, we heard you say several times that Anthony was scary in the game. So I didn't think like you really, really wanted to work with him.
Well, I gotta be honest, I was so impressed by Kyle's gameplay. In the game, he just seemed kind of playing like a quiet game. We didn't strategize together a ton other than the three of us. So I kind of thought he was floating by. So that's why I was like, okay, Anthony's the bigger target out of the two. But then after watching it, I was like, wow, Kyle, you did a great job playing the other side. So I kind of changed my thoughts on that.
For sure.
Yeah, because he was trying to make sure that he was going to last longer in the game versus you and Anthony. But then what ended up happening, we see this, you get to this point where you're like, oh shit, we all voted for each other in one way or another. And now we can actually work together and take over the game.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I'm going to jump all the way ahead to final tribal council, because I want to know this. If Anthony had been in your shoes, where he got half the votes, Jackie got half the votes, and you casted the deciding vote, where would your vote have went?
The person that you kind of wanted to get out but never had the opportunity to, and the person you were scared of most.
I would have had to give it to Jackie. She had played the game. She had made some big moves. Yeah, she had burned people, but she didn't burn me. So I probably would have given it to her for that.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Also, I wanted to say, I don't even know if it was a confessional or what it was. It had to have been with you. And you said that even if you had been voted out of the game, you were going to continue hanging out in your basement, just taking the night off from your family. And I was like, all right, I love this girl.
Yeah, you didn't get to crack open that book.
Yeah, actually, that's true. That was my strategy going in. If I'm voted out early, I just hang tight, read a book, glass of wine. Robbie can take care of the kids. But then I started playing and I'm like, I want to stick in this. Like, I've come this far. Like, I'm getting to the end.
Yeah.
And I could really see that shift in you too. I could tell in the beginning you were kind of unsure, but once you found your footing, that's when I could really tell that you were starting to play the game. And, you know, after merge, we saw you say to members of the other tribe, look, I'm willing to flip. You know, what can we do? I want to stay in this game. And I loved hearing you say, I want to stay in this game, like fighting for it. It was so good to see.
Now,
Thank you.
What was your whole like take on the Dylan Idol fiasco? Like, did you think they were going toward Nikki? Did you hear a Dylan name? Like, were you able to like, what was your take on all that?
Yeah, had no idea it was coming for Nikki. Jackie had said we're voting Dylan, and it was literally just before tribal. So we couldn't have jumped in and warned Dylan about it. Like, because if I had heard his name and I'd had the time, I definitely would have gone and told him, but it was just too short a time. So I have no idea that whole situation. I'd love to kind of understand why he thought it was Nikki, because I didn't hear that, but
no one understands it.
Why didn't you stop it at tribal and be like, Dylan, no, play it for yourself if you heard his name?
Can you do that? Like, I didn't know.
Heck yeah. I would have been, Serena, I would have been all over them and like, yes, let's go. This is great.
See, here's
yeah,
the
okay,
thing.
next
As
time.
Nikki, if I was Nikki, I would have done that because he was playing the idol on her. But as Serena, I would not have done that. I would not have like thrown myself out there like that for Dylan in Serena's shoes.
I mean,
also,
maybe though, because they would have the numbers.
But also, Serena, I think you might have. Did you start any form of a relationship with Jackie at the merge, or was it just kind of after the Shea vote?
No, so we had started the talk about the All Girls Alliance, and then she had voted Kyle, and then there was that challenge where there was Morgan and Brittley, Greg and Shea, and me and Jackie, and we had spent all our time strategizing as opposed to practicing that pencil flip or whatever. We lost, but that was kind of the real solidification of that alliance, and then after came the Shea vote.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you guys strategized the entire time in that breakout room. As soon as we got in there with you, you guys said, "Can we talk?" I was like, "Yeah, go for it." And you didn't even give a damn about the challenge. I don't know if you guys thought at that point, probably not going to win it, might as well strategize.
Yeah, it was the perfect time. Like the hard part was being able to talk one-on-one with somebody without it being suspicious and without saying, "Hey, come join me in this breakout room," and everybody talking about you once you've done that. So this was a great opportunity that was not suspicious at all, that I could pull her in and be like, "Hey, okay, so you were kind of on board for the All Girls Alliance. Is there an opportunity to go farther? Like, can we make this work?"
Was Jackie your preferred partner at that challenge to strategize with in a breakout room alone, or would you have rather gone for someone else?
Definitely Jackie. Greg and Shea, like everybody else appeared to be really solid. That was also a neat thing watching the playbacks, was they came across so solid, so united, but I didn't know there was those cracks in there. And Jackie seemed the only person who was willing to entertain different sides of the conversation. So she was definitely the choice.
Yeah, Shea did pose the, "Hey, go with us for this vote, and then we're obviously going to probably break up at some point, but just like trust us, the people you've never played with."
Yeah.
So I heard you say in a game night that we were in that you've learned a lot, and you made it sound like you will play again and are looking forward to it. So true?
I would play again. I definitely don't have it in me to do a long game, but a mini was definitely the right amount of time and an awesome day. So I would definitely play again.
Awesome.
Blood versus water potential, maybe.
That would be very interesting to see.
Yeah, that would be.
I feel like two totally different styles of play, so I wonder how you guys would mesh together.
Yeah, it would be interesting, that's for sure. Yeah, and it's hard to say. I don't know if we'd be aligned or if we'd be opposed, because we're pretty competitive. So I like
not aligned. I want to see the opposition.
I think you'd give him a run for his money.
Thank you.
Describe your game in one word.
Oh, okay. This just came to me. Like, evolved. Like, I started out pretty new, not knowing what I was doing, and I kind of evolved into like, okay, I know what I'm doing. I got to do this. So I feel like I really grew throughout the game.
Yeah, for
Nice,
sure.
Agree.
My first thought was adaptive. So I
that's
think
a good one.
You played, both an evolved and adaptive game. All right, Lauren and Dennie, any other questions for Serena?
That's all I've got.
That's all I have as well. I just want to say thank you again, Serena, for joining us for the game. I'm glad that you had a really awesome time. It was a pleasure having you on this amazing cast, my favorite cast thus far. Everyone was great.
Out of 2 seasons.
Well, no, I'm just saying in any game that I've hosted.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, we feel loved.
I'm canceled now, but really seriously, Serena, we appreciate having you and look forward to having you play another game with us.
Yeah, and congratulations again.
Thank you very much. I really enjoyed it. You guys did an amazing job.
Well, we appreciate it. All right. Good night, everyone.